Hello and welcome to LSJ Weekly. I'm Carter Jones.
And I'm Nikita-Sasha Manotey. Our top stories this afternoon. Worried for her parents, a Chinese student living in Lincoln tells LSJ Weekly that her parents are living in fear of the coronavirus.
Lincoln Prison cracks down on illegal smugglers.
And in sport, Lincoln City travel to Southend United, looking to avoid a third straight defeat.
All that and more coming up.
Our top story this afternoon on LSJ Weekly. The coronavirus has spread to every region in mainland China, with the World Health Organization considering it a global health emergency.
And a student at the University of Lincoln whose family lives in China says she's worried about their health and well-being. Michael Hazel has more on our top story. So Michael, what did the University of Lincoln student say?
I spoke to Corinne Choi, a Chinese national student at the University of Lincoln who opened up about a family who are currently living in a city just outside of Hong Kong.
So my family has been they all stay at home and they are not brave enough to go out because they are afraid of being affected by the virus. Yeah, I feel quite sad about this and I hope China that we can get over this soon. Yeah.
And what has the university said regarding support for students who have recently returned from China?
The university's statement tells students who have recently returned to Lincoln from China to stay indoors for the first 14 days, especially if they're experiencing any symptoms. I contacted the university for more information on this, but they declined to comment.
And Michael, can you tell us a bit more about the outbreak and its current status?
The outbreak has now spread to every region in mainland China. Hundreds of foreign nationals are expected to stay at home for the first 2 weeks after returning. The death toll has risen to 170 people, with almost 8,000 confirmed cases. British Airways issued a statement earlier today stating that flights to Beijing and Shanghai have been cancelled until 29th of February. Flights to Hong Kong remain unaffected.
Here on LSJ Weekly, former Lincoln student and now art teacher Michael Griffin, who is Zhejiang in China, says he is terrified as he goes into voluntary quarantine following the coronavirus outbreak.
Yeah, it's a bit terrifying. It's really eerie. There's nobody on the streets. There's very few people in the shops and restaurants. Where essentially everybody is kind of self-exiling themselves in their apartments. Everyone outside is wearing masks. It's generally very terrifying and scary to be about, but I don't know. We can only hope that everything will be okay where we are and just hope that we're not the ones who get it, really.
That was Michael Griffith speaking to LSJ Weekly from China.
Lincoln Prison is installing new internal X-ray machines as part of a new scheme to improve safety and cut down on illegal contraband.
Our reporter Kira Best went up to the prison earlier to find out more.
LSJ Lincoln was originally built in 1872. It houses 729 prisoners and serves the court of Lincolnshire, Humberside, Leicestershire and Nottinghamshire. This prison is now part of a £28 million scheme, which is part of a £100 million spend to help reform Britain's prisons. The prison will soon see new X-ray machines coming into force. These X-ray machines will provide instant internal images, providing an insight into whether people are smuggling in contraband, weapons or drugs. These X-ray machines are going to be coming into force in 16 new prisons up and down the country and have already been put into force in 10 in 28.
So Kira's joined us in the studio. So you mentioned there that 10 other prisons in the UK have already got this technology. What's their response to that?
So HMP Leeds received this technology last year and their Governor Steve Robson has actually said it's been a game changer to their prison and their prison system. Since they have had it installed, they have seen 300 items of contraband being detected through this new internal imagery. This is a positive number, showing that these scanners are actually effective, and it is now hoped that they will be effective in these new 16 prisons, including HMP Lincoln.
And when are these new scanners due to be in place?
So it's pretty soon actually. They're due to start implementing them in prisons in the spring, with the Ministry of Justice hoping that by the summer they'll be all implemented and up and running.
Thank you very much indeed, Kira.
And in other news around the region, Monday will mark the start of the annual fundraising event Sign to Sing, which aims to give businesses, schools and universities the opportunity to learn sign language to support deaf people. British Sign Language is not taught as part of the national curriculum, but there are free learning resources available, something which students at the University of Lincoln have been teaching since September. The British Sign Language Society have told LSJ Weekly they were unaware of the event, but are hoping to take part next year.
Lincoln Trampoline Park have launched an exclusive Jump Stars session aimed at children and adults with special needs. The session, run by Jump Inc., will take place each month at a discounted rate. The park, which first opened in December 2018, features a huge inflatable area interconnecting trampolines and tumble tracks.
Massively beneficial. We turn the lights up and the music down, which sort of eliminates the unnecessary stresses of attending a trampoline park in normal hours. Also with the sort of normal hustle and bustle, that's all not there basically. So it's nice and quiet, it's stress-free, it's relaxed. The family members, carers can attend as well. And there are a lot of benefits from trampolining. There's the sort of physical aspects of it, and also mentally as well, and building confidence, and there are a lot of good things from coming to jump.
Lincolnshire Fire and Rescue have released their plan for the next 3 years. Our community plan focuses on reducing the risk of fires in the public and local businesses in the county. The plan includes ways to tackle fire and rescue related incidents and financial information about the force. And I think what's interesting about that story is when I interviewed the Chief Fire Officer Les Britzman on Tuesday, he said basically part of their budget is, which currently stands at 29.3 million, is to try and reduce the risk of people calling hoax calls to the force. He's also planning on introducing an education scheme, especially here at the University of Lincoln, because quite a lot of hoax calls are called from the University of Lincoln. So that's part of the new budget that is included in the 3-year plan.
Still to come.
I'm here at the long-awaited VIP launch event for Elite on the Bail. Elite Fish and Chips are a local Lincolnshire-based chain and have already got restaurants in Sleaford, Lincoln and Raskington.
That was Samantha Ramsbottom, who went to the new branch of Lincolnshire's award-winning fish and chip eatery. More on that later.
And now for the sport. Andrew Norris is here to tell us some bad news off the pitch for Lincoln City.
It hasn't been a great time for Lincoln City recently. After a long run of success in securing promotion to the Sky Bet League 1 division last year, following the domination of League 2, the team has now released its end-of-year financial report, which shows a loss of more than £2.2 million. The figures show that the team spent £614,000 on costs related directly to their promotion. However, it's not all bad news at the newly renamed LNER Stadium, as the average attendance figures rose some 2.5% to over 9,000 people. And looking back to this week, the Imps lost 2-0 to Portsmouth on Tuesday and currently sit 14th in League 1. City will travel to Southend United on Saturday looking for a win against the team who are currently sitting second bottom in the league. And Lincoln United are also in action on Saturday as they take on Market Drayton Town at home. The Whites will be looking for a second win after their last game when they beat Newcastle Town 1-0 away last weekend. United currently sits 16th in the Northern South East Division.
That was Andrew Norris with all the sport there. Now, social media is one of the ways that news travels fast, which is why we're introducing a brand new section on our show, LSJ Trending. Brogan Quinn and Grace Thompson will give you a whistle-stop tour of what's trending on social media.
Welcome to LSJ Trending, where we will be talking about the latest things that have been going on social media in the past week.
So earlier this week, the world was left in shock after a helicopter crash took the lives of Kobe Bryant and his 13-year-old daughter, and 9 others have died as well. Tributes poured in from fans and celebrities with the likes of Taylor Swift tweeting, "My heart is in pieces," hearing the news of this unimaginable tragedy. I can't fathom what the families are going through. And yesterday, Kobe Bryant's wife Vanessa posted a touching tribute to Instagram for Kobe and Gianna. The caption reads, "My girls and I want to thank the millions of people who've shown support and love during this horrific time. Thank you for all the prayers, we definitely need them. We are completely devastated by the sudden loss of my adoring husband Kobe, the amazing father of our children, and my beautiful sweet Gianna, a loving, thoughtful and wonderful daughter and amazing sister to Natalia, Bianca and Capri.
And next up, Little Mix star Jessie Nelson has been trending on Twitter after her emotional speech at the 25th National Television Awards. In the BBC Three documentary, Odd One Out, Jessie Nelson opened up about her mental health and the abuse she suffered from online trolls. People have taken to Twitter to show their support. One user tweeted, "I've never followed Little Mix, but I finally watched #OddOneOut. A very well-deserved NTA win, and Jessie Nelson's shown a lot of bravery."
And over the past few years, you may have seen the hashtag Fridays for Future across your news feeds from Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. Well, climate change activist Greta Thunberg is now trademarking the name and the hashtag to try and stop people from impersonating her. Greta started the movement in 2018 after her school strike turned into a global protest. Millions of people across the world have since joined in with the hashtag Fridays for Future movement.
And on a lighter note, if you woke up this morning and reached straight for your phone to check social media, as most of us do, you may have noticed this image circulating around. No, it isn't popcorn or a little golden nugget, even though it does look like it, but rather the most recent detailed image of the sun and the sun's surface. It was taken from the National Science Foundation's Solar Telescope. It said that each cell you can see is about the size of Texas, which is massive, isn't it?
It's pretty gigantic, so it's crazy that we've got this detailed image all of a sudden. Yeah,
and we've been debating a lot in the newsroom what these cells resemble. What do you reckon?
Well, I'm agreeing with golden nuggets, I think. The classic cereal that you have, I think it definitely looks like that, to be honest, but let us know what you think.
What's been trending with you this week? You can join the conversation with us on Twitter at LSJ Tweets with the hashtag LSJ Weekly.
Back to you guys in the
That was Brogan Quinn and Grace Thompson with our new social media strand, LSJ Trending. St Mark's Shopping Centre has found a sustainable solution to a sticky situation.
Chewing gum is a cheap habit but expensive for our public places to clear up. Gum recycling bins have proven to be successful at St Mark's since their installation last summer. Here is our reporter Sophie Bell with more.
Chewing gum, whether you use it to freshen your breath after your morning coffee or if it's just a daily routine habit, have you ever wondered what happens to it once you've disposed of it? Well, that's what these gumdrop bins are for. They not only keep the streets clean, but they also have a more sustainable purpose as well.
I think it's 3p to produce chewing gum and £1.50 to clean it up. So, and £60 million probably across the whole country in a year. So I think the fact that it can be taken up and made into sustainable products and that there isn't anything else needed in that process, it makes it a good project for people to take part in and quite cost effective.
St Mark's Shopping Centre will save over £2,000 in its first year from gumdrop bins. Currently, 9 months after installing the bins, over 1,800 grams of chewing gum have already been recycled.
It's all being recycled as well. I think that kind of appeals to people as well, doesn't it? Especially at the moment where there's so much information about recycling everywhere you look. So it's actually, people kind of think, oh right, okay, I'll put it in there then rather than spit it on the floor.
Gumtech products include stationery, wellies and reusable travel mugs. So next time you're finished with your chewing gum, think of your sustainable choices when disposing. Sophie Bell, LSJ Weekly.
Award-winning Lincolnshire-based fish and chip company are opening a brand new seafood restaurant in the Bailgate area.
The new restaurant, Elite on the Bail, had a VIP launch event on the 29th for surrounding businesses and press organisations to take a look inside. Our reporter Sammy Ramsbottom was at the launch.
I'm here at the long-awaited VIP launch event for Elite on the Bail. Elite Fish and Chips are a local Lincolnshire-based chain and have already got restaurants in Sleaford, Lincoln and Ruskington. Businesses from the Bailgate and local press organisations have all been invited to see the new restaurant.
The 80-seat restaurant is Elite's fourth in the county. Located in the historical Bailgate area, the restaurant will be serving their tried and tested fish and chips, as well as a bespoke seafood menu on Wednesday and Thursday evenings and Friday and Saturday day.
We'll be running a seafood menu alongside our fish and chip menu. A little bit more upmarket, we're offering things like oysters, scallops, fish not in batter, generally a nice seafood experience. I don't think there is something or anywhere in Lincoln that caters to that market at the minute, where if you wanted seafood specifically, which is a niche that we're hoping to be able to attract, to target, and hopefully people will come and enjoy it at the same time.
Guests of the night were able to see all the behind the scenes of the restaurant, as well as try a variety of canapés showcasing the menu. The mayor and local businesses attended the VIP preview of the restaurant and takeaway before it officially opens to the public in February. We asked some of the guests what they thought of the new Elite on the Bail.
Both Jill and I go to Elite Fish and Chips on the other end of town, but I'm sure here is going to be really good for the city of Lincoln and certainly for the Bailgate as well. But it's fantastic.
Food's wonderful. They've made an amazing job for building, and I think the seafood restaurant is going to be a real addition to the Bail.
Fantastic. Yeah, absolutely amazing. I think the atmosphere is really, really good. And what we've been offering this evening, if that's anything to go by for the rest of what they're offering, bring it on.
I think it'll do very well in this tourist area.
Sammy Ramsbottom, LSJ Weekly.
And it's time for the weather. Here's Whitney Jones.
The Met Office has issued a yellow warning for strong gusty winds across the Pennines this evening. So if you're planning on travelling, please be careful on our roads and expect some railway disruption. It's been a fairly cloudy start today here in Lincolnshire, with overcast carrying throughout the afternoon. It's been a very mild start with highs of 11 and 12 degrees, but as we head into this evening, there will be some patchy cloud forming, leading to the early hours of the morning, seeing small outbreaks of rain. Tomorrow we'll have a wet start to the day, clearing by the afternoon, with the weekend looking to have some sunny outbreaks with a continuous breeze. So it seems to be quite a chilly end to the week.
So Nikita, what do you think's been the highlight of today's show?
So I do really feel that the coronavirus story was a good one. The LSJ trending, that's something new, something fresh. And definitely the chewing gum story, that was really good.
Well, going back to the coronavirus, I think it's interesting to hear a view from somebody who's actually involved in it, because obviously if you read the national stories, we don't really understand that. Well, we do understand that there's quite a few people being in quarantine, but we don't understand the fact that there's people here who are being affected about it too. I mean, there's only a few cases that haven't been confirmed yet, but it's still a bit of a family issue in China too. In terms of the fact that the gum story, you don't really understand how much money is being put into that, do you?
Well, this is it, isn't it? So.
And it's nice to have a nice food place being open in Lincoln. I know we've got quite a few already. And that's all from us here at LSJ Weekly. Don't forget you can keep up to date with us on social media.
You can find us on Twitter at LSJ Tweets, or find us on Facebook and Instagram at LSJ News TV. You can join the conversation by using the hashtag LSJ Weekly.
And we hope you have a very good evening. Bye for now.